Recording through audio through headset. Okay, it should be all right. Should be all right. Yeah, I will explain normally, knowing that thousands of people will watch it. Not thousands, maybe just 20 or so. Yeah, 20. Sometimes hundreds. Yeah, some of my videos have hundreds of views. So I'm actually, many people can benefit from it. Anyway, what is a noun phrase, guys? What is a noun phrase? Let me give you a sentence here. Workers will get a new payment. Workers will get a new payment of the month. Payment of the month. Okay, this is a phrase. Have a look at this. Workers. This is very basic. Workers is a noun. Yeah, is a plural noun. What is a noun phrase? Noun phrase. A noun phrase is an element within the sentence that contains a noun. In this case, sorry. Yeah, it's because of the cable. Can you help me, Jose? Just place it in such a way that the whole thing can be seen. That the whole whiteboard can be seen. Yeah? Can you see me through the phone now? No. The whole thing? There, yeah. Like that. Now it's okay? Sorry about that. If it falls again, it's okay now? It's recording, the numbers are counting? Okay, you can go back to your seat. Thank you. If it falls again, I will get rid of this thing and just allow the video to be recorded with the normal microphone. Actually, I have like 100 videos in my channel, and in all of them I didn't use this. It's the first time now that I'm using this, so maybe that's why I'm having difficulties. Maybe it should be wireless. Yeah. So if it falls again, I'll get rid of it. I'll give it one more chance. Yeah. Just one more chance. Workers will get a new payment of the month. So what is a noun phrase? A noun phrase is an element of the sentence that contains a noun. So this is a noun phrase. What is the most important element in a noun phrase? The noun. Is there any other noun phrase in this sentence? A new payment of the month. This is a unit. Yeah? A new payment of the month. What is the most important element in this noun phrase? Payment. The noun. What is the noun? Payment. It can be pre-modified by an adjective. This is an adjectival phrase. It can be post-modified. Yeah? Post-modified by a PP. PP is not a political party. It's a prepositional phrase. Yeah? Starting with a preposition. Yes? So pre-modified by an adjective, post-modified by a prepositional phrase. But the most important element is the noun. So now you know what a noun phrase is. An element. Yeah? An element, a phrase within the sentence whose most important part is the noun. Sometimes it's just a noun. Sometimes it's a whole big noun phrase with adjectives, yeah, with prepositional phrases, but the most important element is the noun phrase. So far, so good? So far, so good. Good. Let's go on. Now that we know what a noun phrase is, let's talk about compound nouns. Compound nouns. Compound nouns. Let me give you a sentence, of a compound noun. High exam results mean a rise in self-confidence. High exam results. High exam results mean a rise in self-confidence. Means a rise in self-confidence. I'll give you another sentence. I love using a smart board. I love using a smart board. I love using a smart board instead of a whiteboard. Instead of a whiteboard. Okay, detect with me the compound nouns in these two sentences? There are 4 compound nouns. Exam results is a compound noun. Self-confidence is a compound noun. 2 to go. Smart board is a compound noun. 1 more. Whiteboard is a compound noun. So, what is a compound noun? Compound nouns are 2 nouns together. However, as you can see, there are different types of compound nouns. Sometimes, what is the main noun here? What is the main noun here in this compound noun? Results, yeah. As you know, the main noun is the second one. And the first noun is describing the second noun. What kind of results? Exam results. This one describes the second one. Sometimes they are 2 separated nouns. And this is a compound noun. In the case of smartboard, 2 separated nouns. And this is a compound noun. 2 separated, yeah? Separated nouns. Sometimes they are hyphenated. Yeah? What is this? A hyphen. So sometimes the compound noun is hyphenated, yeah? With a hyphen. And sometimes they are together. Whiteboard. It's only one word. There is no space. Yeah? There's no space. Yeah? It's together. Whiteboard. Sometimes it's only one word. Yeah, whiteboards have been around for a longer time. Blackboard, whiteboard. They have been around for a very long time. So the words, the 2 nouns, have actually come together already. Smartboards have arrived quite recently. So the compound noun has not evolved in such a way that the words have come together yet. So just remember, 2 nouns together, sometimes separated, sometimes separated and hyphenated. Separated sometimes, hyphenated sometimes, and sometimes totally together. So far, so good? Okay, let me erase this. Go on. Have a look at these compound nouns. Air pollution. This is a compound noun. Climate change. This is a compound noun. Tax increases. This is a compound noun. Would you say that air pollution, climate change, and tax increases are well-established ideas? 2 nouns that typically can go together and people immediately understand. Are these well-established ideas or not very well-established ideas? What would you say? If I talk about air pollution, do you immediately understand what I'm talking about? Climate change, do you immediately understand? You think everybody will know what I mean if I say climate change?
Climate change? No, everybody knows.
Everybody knows, yeah? Tax increases. Is people familiarized with these compound noun together? Yeah, I would say so. Imagine that I say, for example, when you go to jail, imagine, when you go to jail, there is corporal punishment. Corporal punishment. If you go to jail, unfortunately, nowadays, they use corporal punishment. What would be the noun, the compound noun here? Compound noun? Corporal punishment. Do you think this is a very well-established idea? Do you think everybody would understand? Yeah, the corporal punishment. Everybody talks about that. Everybody knows. You understand what it is. But do you think it's a very well-established idea as this one's? No, it's not so well-established. So it sounds weird. Would people understand you? Yes, they would. Is this a well-established compound noun? No, it isn't. You should say something like the use of, maybe, let me remove there is, corporal punishment, just by itself. Corporal punishment, it sounds incomplete. So you need something else. You need to say something, the use of corporal, yeah, the same. The use of corporal punishment in jails is a disgrace. So if you have context, yeah, the use of corporal punishment in jails is a disgrace. So if you have context, yeah, people would understand it. But without context, saying corporal punishment, people wouldn't totally understand what you mean. However, these ones, if I say them without context, air pollution, climate change, tax increases, do you need context to understand these concepts? No. So that's the thing about compound nouns. Compound nouns typically describe well-established ideas. Yeah? Well-established ideas are normally expressed by compound nouns. Let me give you another example. If I say, for example, yeah, if I say plastic cup disposal, plastic cup disposal. Okay, you understand it, but do you think this is a very common compound noun? Plastic cup disposal? Plastic cup disposal is necessary. Does it sound totally natural for you or a little bit forced? What do you think? What does your gut feeling tell you? Does it sound a little bit forced to you or natural? It sounds a little bit forced. If I say at the beginning of a sentence, plastic cup disposal, it sounds a little bit forced, yeah? Also at the beginning of a sentence, corporal punishment is blah, blah, blah. It sounds a little bit forced. However, if I start a sentence with climate change, yeah, climate change is a big problem. Does it sound forced? Not at all. Why? Because these are well-established ideas. So how can I make it sound better? Instead of saying plastic at disposal, maybe to make it sound better, this is not totally wrong. This is not grammatically wrong, guys. This is not grammatically wrong. It just sounds a little bit forced in English. So to make it sound better, I would say something like the disposal of, yeah? The disposal of plastic cups is blah, blah, blah necessary. So the disposal of plastic cups is necessary, blah, blah, blah. In this case, it doesn't sound much forced. So be careful. If you want to start a sentence, to use a compound noun as the subject of the sentence and then have a predicate, subject and predicate. A compound noun works very well as the subject because it's a well-established idea. But if it's not a well-established idea, it sounds a little bit forced. Do you understand? Yep. Shall I continue? Remember that. Don't worry too much, but remember that. Well-established ideas. Okay, let's move on to the next point, which is using gerunds and infinitives. It's quite windy. Is it raining? Okay, have a look at this. Having talked to her was a great relief. Having talked to her is a great relief. Having talked to her is a great relief. What is the subject and what is the predicate of this sentence?
Having talked to her is the
Subject.
Is a great
Predicate. Okay. What is this is a noun phrase, having talked to her. Having talked to her. What is the most important element in this noun phrase? Having talked, yeah, the whole thing. Having talked. This is acting as a noun, yeah? And what is this? What is having? Is that a noun? Is that a verb or a noun?
It's a gerund with functions of a noun.
Exactly. It is a verb, the verb to have, but it is a gerund. A gerund ending in ing. And what did we say about gerunds? Gerunds can function as nouns. How do you negate? This is what we're saying, yeah? Using gerunds or infinitives. How do you negate this sentence? Exactly. You negate it with not, yeah? You don't need an auxiliary verb, yeah? Not having talked to her is a great relief. So, having talked to her, using the gerund as the subject, or not having talked, negating the gerund. So yeah, idea. What is the idea? Using the gerund as a noun, as the subject. Using the gerund as a noun, as the subject. How do we negate it? With not. So far so good? May I continue?
Yes.
Okay, what else? Have a look at this. All right, all students, have a look at this sentence. All students commented. You know, it happened on Tuesday, Manuel. All students commented on you missing the class. Okay, what do I have here? All students commented on you missing the class. What is the gerund here? Here. This is the gerund. All students commented on you missing the class. This is the gerund. Who missed the class? You. Who is you? Jose Manuel. What is the function of you here? What is you? What type of word is you?
It's a pronoun.
It's a pronoun. It's a pronoun. And what is the function of that pronoun in relation to the gerund?
Subject.
Exactly, it's the subject. It's the subject of that gerund. So, one use of the gerund together with a pronoun, yeah, this is an advanced use, is the use of pronouns, yeah? The use of pronouns or nouns, yeah? The use of pronouns or nouns to make clear who is the subject of the gerund, yeah? To make clear who the subject is, yeah? Who the subject of the gerund is. So students commented on you missing the class. Instead of you, I want to specifically say your name. So I can say, you know, Manuel, sorry, I'm using you for the example. You know, Manuel, on Tuesday, all students commented on you, or to everybody, all students commented on Manuel missing the class. So what is the function of this pronoun? What is the function of this noun? Clarifying, making clear who is the subject of this gerund. There is a more formal way of saying this. Can you think of a much formal way of saying this? Instead of you, what other possibility could I have? Instead of the pronoun, what other possibility could I have? I'm going to erase Manuel, the noun. I'm going to erase you, the pronoun. And there is another possibility. I'm not expecting you to know it, but the other possibility is the possessive pronoun. You're missing. This is a very advanced grammatical structure. This is why we're here in the C2.1 level. This is not something that you need for everyday communication just to survive. But if you want to sound more formal, depending on the situation, this is the most formal way of saying it. All students commented on you're missing the class. And this is not just a pronoun. What is this? Possessive pronoun. So you can use pronouns. You can also use possessive pronouns. Yeah, in order to make clear who the subject of the gerund is. Or you can just use a normal pronoun. So what is the difference? I have already told you, but I want to make it clear. What is the difference between all students commented on you missing the class and all students commented on your missing the class? What is the difference? The little difference.
It's more formal.
Which one is more formal?
Your.
The possessive. So the idea is the same, but the possessive, your missing of the class, is more formal. This is advanced. This is an advanced grammatical structure with gerunds.
On your missing of the class, on your missing class,
On your missing, yeah, very good question.
on your
On you missing the class, on your missing the class. I think on your missing the class sounds good. It's okay. On your missing the class. It sounds weird to you right now, but actually you don't have to change this. You don't have to change this. On you missing the class, on your missing the class. The only thing you change is this. You don't need to change this. Even though it sounds a little bit weird to your ears, not to the ears of a native English speaker.
Yeah, when you say you're missing class, missing class would be a compound noun.
You're missing the class. No, it's not, because we have
No,
the.
but if we don't have the...
In that case, I would say class missing. On your class missing, because missing it is the most important noun. But again, that would sound a little bit forced. I don't think that's a very well established idea. So far, so good. I'm going to give you another example because I think this one sounds a little bit weird to your ears. Would you like me teaching this unit? Imagine that I ask you, guys, would you like me, yeah? Would you like me teaching this unit of the book? Imagine that you have 2 or 3 teachers, so 2 or 3 English teachers, and I want to teach a specific lesson, a specific unit, and I ask you, guys, this is a question, would you like me teaching this unit? Where is the gerund? Teaching, yeah? This is the gerund. The gerund, which is a verb functioning as a noun, yeah? What is this? The subject, yeah, of the gerund. What type of word is it? A pronoun, yeah? Guys, would you like me teaching this unit? How can I make it sound more formal? Much more formal. How can I make it more formal? Guys, would you like my teaching this unit? This is totally fine. This is correct. This is advanced English. It may sound weird to the ears of Spaniards, but this is the formal variant. Would you like me teaching this unit? Correct. Would you like my teaching this unit? Correct. More formal. More formal. So far, so good? I think with this second example, now it's totally clear, yeah? Right? May I? Okay, next point. I have quite a few points. If the gerund has an object, okay. Drinking fizzy drinks is not permitted in the classroom. Drinking fizzy drinks is not permitted in the classroom. Drinking fizzy drinks is not permitted in the classroom. Again, what do I have here? What is the subject? Subject? Drinking fizzy drinks is not permitted in the classroom. Predicate. Subject, predicate. Again, what is the most important part here? What is the compound noun? Fizzy drinks is a compound noun, right? Compound noun. What is the most important verb here? What is the gerund here? This is the gerund, yeah? Gerund. We could say that this is a gerund followed by a compound noun, and the compound noun in this case is working as an object. Object. Drinking. Drinking what? Drinking fizzy drinks. So fizzy drinks is the object of the gerund. So if the gerund has an object, it can be followed by it. Gerund and then object. Drinking fizzy drinks. However, there is a more formal way of saying it. How can you make this sentence much more formal, much more complicated in English? I'm going to start it with the. with the dr. The drinking. Now, finish it off for me. How can you make... This is a normal sentence. This is fine. Drinking fizzy drinks. Gerund plus object. That's fine. It's not permitted in the classroom. But a more formal equivalent, what would it be? I'm giving you the beginning. You should be able to... Exactly. The drinking of fizzy drinks is not permitted in the classroom. So this structure, yeah, what is the structure? The structure is the plus gerund plus of plus after of, what do we have here? Fizzy drinks is a compound noun or a noun phrase, yeah? That's the object, yeah? That's the object. So drinking fizzy drinks is not permitted, gerund plus object, but if you want to make it more formal, the drinking of fizzy drinks is not permitted in the classroom. More formal alternative. So far so good? Remember this structure. The, gerund, of, and then the noun phrase. The drinking of fizzy drinks. It actually sounds more formal. Does it sound more formal to your ears? The drinking of fizzy drinks. It sounds formal. How is the phone, Manuel? Is it going to fall anytime? No. Do you see the danger? No. Okay. It's all right. Okay. I'm about to finish, guys. Just a little bit more, yeah? A little bit more and then we can get to practice. There's a lot of theory at this level. Now, using a noun phrase instead of a verb phrase. This is the next point, yeah? Using a noun phrase instead of a verb phrase. Using a noun phrase instead of a verb phrase. Have a look at this sentence. Automation. This is very formal, okay? Automation has resulted in job losses. Automation has resulted in job losses. There are two noun phrases here. Noun phrase number 1 and B, noun phrase. What is this? A noun, yeah? Automation. So this is a noun phrase. What is the other noun phrase? Job losses, yeah? Job losses. Job losses is a noun phrase. What type of noun is this? Normal noun or compound noun? This is a compound noun, yeah? Noun and noun, yeah? This is the main noun. Okay, so automation has resulted in job losses. Does this sentence sound formal or informal to your ears? This is the kind of sentence you would say to a friend in a bar or that you would read on a newspaper. Automation has resulted in job losses. Does it sound formal or informal to you? Sorry? What do you think, Patricia?
I think it's formal.
How about you guys?
In a newspaper, more than in a bar.
You would hear this more in a newspaper, read it on a newspaper rather than listening to this sentence in a bar, yeah, having a pint with a friend. Yeah, I think automation has resulted in job losses. Or maybe you can read that on a newspaper. I think this is more formal, yeah? So the use of noun phrases instead of verb phrases is formal. Okay, how can you make it more informal? I could say automation has resulted in job losses. Another more informal way would be saying, because employers have introduced more machines, yeah? Because employers have introduced more machines, yeah? Because employers have introduced more machines. And then job losses. How can I express it in a more informal way with verbs? Many workers. Very good. Many workers have lost their jobs. What do you have here? Many workers have lost their jobs. Here you have a verb. Yeah? Here you have a subject and a predicate, a verb. Because employers, again, employers would be the subject. Have introduced more machines is the predicate. What is have introduced? A verb. So this is a verb phrase. Have introduced more machines. Have lost their jobs. When you have a verb phrase, you have a complete sentence. I think this is more informal. Yeah, you know, because employers have introduced a lot of machines, then many workers have lost their jobs. Using the verbs is a normal sentence. Using only the nouns is more formal. It's more formal, it's more impersonal. Yeah? Automation. You're not saying the employers have introduced machines. You say there is automation. This is impersonal. You're not saying who. Yeah? You're not saying who. Job losses. You're not saying is that many workers have lost their jobs. You just say job losses. It's more informal, it's cold, it's impersonal. Impersonal, formal. More personal, more informal. Do you understand? May I continue? Sorry?
Another beer.
Another pint. Another pint of grammar. Another pint of grammar. That's what you're asking for. What are you saying? I don't get it.
Because employees have introduced more machines, many workers have lost their jobs. You can hear this in a bar.
Exactly. Thank you.
Another beer.
Exactly. I get it now. So yeah, this is more casual conversation and this is more formal, impersonal. More typically found on a newspaper. Okay, I'm close to finishing, I promise. Then another sentence, failure to answer your emails. Ooh, okay, I'm going to give you a very informal sentence, well, a normal sentence. If you don't answer your emails, I'm changing my tone of voice to sound more informal, yeah? If you don't answer your emails, you might get fired. What is the British equivalent to get fired? Get sacked. Yeah, sacked. Kicked out would be kicked out of a place. Yeah, you could also use it for getting fired. Kicked out, but more specifically, get sacked. Yeah, get sacked. Or there's another one. You might get sacked. You might get redundant, or you might get fired. So get fired, American. Get sacked, British. And another more formal alternative, to be made redundant. That's more formal. Anyway, if you don't answer your emails, you might get fired. This is normal, informal. How can you make this super formal? I want you to make this super formal. And what is the structure to make it super formal? This is the structure. Failure to plus infinitive. If you use the structure failure to plus infinitive, you will get it more formal. Not only more formal, but also more impersonal. Okay, can anybody transform this normal everyday sentence into something more formal, saying, starting with failure? Failure to. So, if you go to the office and you talk to your workmate in a very informal way, having a cup of coffee, you know, man, if you don't answer your emails, you might get fired. But then you enter the office and there is a sign written on the wall.
Failure to answer your emails.
Very good. Failure to answer. Failure to answer your emails. Failure to answer your emails. For example, or will result in job loss. Yeah? Job loss. Yeah? Failure to answer your emails will result in job loss. Do you see the difference? If you don't answer your emails, you might get fired. Failure to answer your emails will result in job loss. What is the subject here? Failure to answer. There is no specific subject. It's more impersonal. Here there's a specific one, yeah? You. Here they're not saying you. They're just saying in a very impersonal way, failure to answer will result. So remember this structure. Failure to plus infinitive. More formal, more impersonal. Another one. Can I erase this? I'll give you another structure which is also quite formal. More formal, more impersonal. Okay, I'm going to give you another sentence. I want you to make it formal. Lack of motivation. If you're not motivated, if you are not motivated, you will get a verbal warning. If you're not motivated, you will get a verbal warning. Now, the structure is a lack of plus noun. Yeah? A lack of plus noun. A lack of or a shortage. A shortage of. Can you see it? A lack of, a shortage of, plus noun or noun phrase. So let's begin the sentence. Hosan, give it to us.
Lack of motivation.
Lack of motivation. And now you can use a similar structure as the sentence we said before. Will
Get verbal warning.
will result in a verbal warning. So, do you see the difference? If you don't answer, if you're not motivated, you will get a verbal warning. This is more personal. You have the subject. Yeah, the subject, you. This is impersonal. A lack of motivation will result in a verbal warning. Remember this: a lack of plus noun, a shortage of plus noun. It makes the sentence more formal. It makes the sentence more impersonal. So far, so good? All right. A little bit more. May I? Okay, another one. If I say, I'm going to orally give you a sentence. They introduced new measures and it generated an outrage. What is the verb? To introduce. To introduce is the verb. What is the typical noun that you can make out of introduce? Introduction, yeah? Introduction. So if I say informal, yeah? Informal. They introduced a lot of new measures and people were unhappy about it. This is more informal. If I want to make it more formal, what would I say? Say again?
The introduction of
New rules, yeah? Very good. The introduction of new rules generated an outrage in the public, yeah? In public opinion. Do you see the difference? They introduced new rules and people were unhappy. Informal. The introduction of new rules made people rather unhappy. It generated an outrage. They express the same idea. This is the verb and this is the noun. The structure is the plus noun plus of, and then the rest of the sentence. Informal, formal. Why? Because you're using a noun phrase and be instead of a VP, instead of a phrase. Do you see the change in register between one sentence and the other? Yeah? Okay, another one. Instead of they introduce, another verb. Just a few examples, yeah? Just a few examples. If I say, for example, to buy. To buy. What is the typical noun associated with to buy? Starting with a P. P-U.
Purchase.
Very good. Purchase. Purchase, purchase, purchase. So if I say they bought a lot of presents for the people, but I could say in a much more formal way, the purchase, yeah? The purchase, yeah, the purchase of the items, yeah, made people satisfaction levels much higher, yeah? Sounds informal with the verb, formal with the noun. The noun of. So far so good? Okay, just one more. If I say, so buy, purchase, introduce, introduction. If I say, for example, read, what is the typical noun associated to read?
Lecture?
You could say lecture, but actually, what is a lecture? If I am a university professor, I can give you a lecture. That's like a master class, like a class in front of an university audience. So no, it's not lecture, it's a false friend, sorry. 1 point, one big point for Manuel. What is it? Reading. When there is no clear noun associated to a verb, like introduction, purchase, what do? You go for the gerund. Yeah? A gerund is working as a noun in this case. So I could say, in an informal way, they read many books at school. Students read, yeah, many books at school. That's very positive for their development. Instead of they read many books, which is the normal sentence, I could say, the reading of books, yeah, promotes the development of kids in many areas. Much more formal. So far so good? May I? I'm about to finish, I promise. Just 2-3 minutes left. 2 minutes, Josan, only, yeah? Is that okay? Is that all right? Okay, what do I have for you? I prepared quite a few explanations. The very last, I promise this is the very last thing, yeah? You see, no more pages. This is the last page, yeah? The last one. The very last, and I think it's a good one. If I say, so sounding very formal, I could say, the closer. The closer, this is the noun related to the verb? Close, yeah? The construction, okay, these are all nouns, okay? Nouns. Construction, tell me the verb. Construct. Construct or build. Build, building. I would say build, building, yeah? Construct, construction, but yeah. Distraction, very easy, yeah? Distraction. Disappearance. 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 Discovery. Discovery. Introduction. Knowledge. Very good. Then I need here a preposition. And then something. The closer, something. The distraction, something. The disappearance, something. The discovery, something. What is the typical preposition that we need normally attached to these nouns?
Of.
Correct. So, one thing for you to memorize. These nouns are typically followed by the preposition of. Of. Good. Of, closure of, construction of, distraction of, disappearance of, discovery of, introduction of, knowledge of.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to give you another set of nouns. Change. Change is a noun. What is the verb? Change, the same. Sometimes it's the same. Yeah? Change is the noun for the verb change. Decrease, increase, delay, fall, the fall, growth. growth, reduction, investment, Okay, the change, the decrease, something, the increase, something, the delay, something, the fall, something, the growth, something, the reduction, something, the investment, something. What is the best preposition here? In. So memorize, guys, memorize. These nouns are typically followed by in this type of construction. They change in something, decrease in something, the increase in something, the delay in something, the growth in something, the reduction in something. You know, off comes to the Spanish mind, but in the English mind, in is the one here. Yeah, remember, this one's in. Decrease in, increase in, fall in. And the final set for today, admiration, from the verb to admire, yeah? Affection, appreciation, demand, desire. The noun desire from the verb desire, the same. Yeah, sometimes it's the same. Fondness, need. The noun need. I have the need from the verb need. Preference, respect. So the admiration, something. The affection, something or somebody. Yeah, something or somebody. The appreciation, something. The demand, something. The desire, something. The need, something. The respect, something. What is the best preposition here? Your instinct is correct. For. Remember, these nouns, they are typically followed by the preposition for. The need for something. Again, to the Spanish mind, to the Spanish mental schemata, off will always be there. Yeah, off. But to the Spanish mind, to the English mind, in this case, is for. The need for something. The desire for something. Demand for something. Remember that. This is the end of this lecture. May I? Okay, so grammatical explanation over. Any questions? Shall we practice a little bit? I will upload this to the YouTube channel, my God.